Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam, Hare Krishna. So we've already completed the bhajans. The floor had just been mopped after the large prasadam party from the first session, and it took a long time to dry because of very humid and cold weather. So we were all on stage doing the kirtans, and now it is time for the remembrances and the Pushpanjali for Srila Gurudev. Guruve Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Namine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Ninatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata, Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, whose auspicious appearance anniversary we are observing today. Next, I offer my thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotara Shata, Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present today, physically and virtually, I offer my Dandava Pranam. So we have assembled today for the purpose of remembering the amazing mercy, the impact, the wonderful wonders that we have experienced in our life in relationship with that most blessed personality, our Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. As I was chanting Mangalacharan, a remembrance was coming in my mind of what Srila Gurudev was telling about the appearance and disappearance of the Supreme Lord and the transcendental personalities, the pure devotees. The appearance of Krishna is divine and transcendental. There is no inebriety in it. When he appears and disappears, it is not actually like he is born and he is departing from this world like we do. And neither is it for the pure devotees. Their appearance on this external, apparent mundane plane is transcendental, and their disappearance is also likewise transcendental. Our Gurudev has told that just like you see someone walking in front of your window, they appear and then they disappear, but actually they are always present. Only we have seen them appear and we have seen them disappear. So Srila Gurudev is always present. He is always manifest. Even though he might not be physically manifest in front of our eyes, if we sincerely pray to him, if we sincerely call to him from within the core of our hearts, he can and will manifest to us. And in our perfected state, we will also see Srila Gurudev in his Gaur Lila Swarup and in his Radha Krishna Lila Swarup. So he's always eternally present. It's only a matter of our sincerity. Are we calling to him? Are we sincere? It is said that the appearance and disappearance of the pure devotees, actually there's no difference. But there is a speciality. Today they were telling that upon the appearance of any personality, you don't know about their glories when they're just born. No one even knew that they were going to be born. But later on in their life, then you start to understand their glories. But we remember them on their appearance and disappearance because we remember all of their glories, or as many as we can remember, regardless of whether it is their appearance or disappearance day. Some people say, oh, the appearance is not so important, but actually it is. Without the appearance of Srila Gurudev in this world, who would have known about the speciality and the difference between Mathura and Vrindavan? Who could have known? We had so many ideas, but who would have known? Like we talk about Sri Rupa Goswami, that prayer, Yang Kalirupa Sharira Nadharata, Ko Janata Mathura Vrindavana, Ko Janata Vrajanita. Who would have known the speciality of the moods of love and affection that the Brajbasis have for Krishna? Who would have known about the difference between Mathura and Vrindavan? It was all there, it is there. Srila Gurudev told us, everything is there in Prabhupada's books. Have you understood it? Did we know? When so many devotees came to Gurudev and he would ask questions, they would be running in circles. And then he would give them the tattva and the siddhant and refine their understanding. Because he said everything is under lock and key. If you want to understand anything, then you come to the pure Vaishnava. You hear from them. Today Vrindavan Vilasini Didi quoted Srila Rupa Goswami Pad and the 8th verse of Upadeshamrita, which is the essence of all advice. She said, Tishtam Braje, residing in Braj. What are we supposed to do when we reside in Braj? What gives it any potency and power for us? What Sudevi just said, Tad Anuragi Jan Anugami. To be and the Anugatya Anugami, under the guidance of, under the shelter of that personality whose heart is overflowing with Anurag for Radha and Krishna. Residing in Vrindavan means residing at their lotus feet and imbibing their Brajabhavs. This is real residing in Vrindavan. We all know we can reside in Vrindavan and our minds can be anywhere else. But when you're at the feet of Gurudev, and he's challenging you, hey, what are you thinking? Where is your mind? Immediately we shape up, we have to be present. He wanted us to give him all of our senses and be fully present to the Hari Katha he was giving. Yes, he would warn all of us. I can call on anyone at any moment. I want you all to be ready to speak on any subject matter. And so many devotees would be like, just tell don't cover the mic there. Tell what Gurudev did in South Africa.
So when we were in South Africa, Srila Gurudev, we were in his room, and Srila Gurudev said, I don't know what to do with this. Srila Gurudev said, I want you to be ready to speak on any subject at any time. And I said, oh, Gurudev, I'm too afraid to do it. And he said, why? I said, because you're scary. And he said, why? He said, I am your father. You no need to be scared. And I said, oh, Gurudev, I said, even Sripad Ban Maharaj is shaking when he has to speak in front of you. And Gurudev started laughing and he said, yes. And then he said, I also used to be like that in front of my Gurudev. And so he again said, but you should be ready to speak at any time. And I said, okay, can you warn me ahead of time? And he said, no.
You know what he did with Shamrani in Australia and New Zealand? She said, please, can you give me warning the night before? Just tell me, because otherwise I sit there through the whole class and I'm panicking the entire class. I'm not listening to a word you're saying because I'm thinking, suddenly you're going to ask. So Gurudev said, certainly, okay, we'll do that. And the next night, without warning, Shamrani, get up and speak.
Also with Shamarani, he told her he was going to call her on a particular subject, and he called her on something else.
Remember in Barshana when Gurudev told that he will call anyone to speak and we should all be ready.
Yeah, I was really, really afraid. I was sitting actually by you and Shanti, and I said, I'm really afraid. And Vaikuntha was like, yeah, he could call on you, so be ready. And I felt like I got a fever. I was shaking. No, it gets worse. So I was really upset and freaking out, and Gurudev was just looking at everyone, and I was panicked. And then the class finished, and I was so happy and relieved. And then Gurudev, you know, when he would walk back to his room, we would all go to get a glance of Gurudev. So I ran up to get the glance, and he passed me, and I was really grateful that he just didn't look at me. And then Shanti was next to me, and she said, Gurudev, Sudevi's afraid you're going to call on her to speak. And I was like, oh, and Gurudev spun around and he said, yes. And I was shaking, and he said, I want to see all your Astasattvic bhavs. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was just like, oh no. And he could tell that I was panicking, and he said, so tomorrow, be ready.
Oh, tomorrow.
And then he stopped for a second and watched me panic more, and then he said, to sing. And then he left.
So I'm thinking I should probably bring the mic over to this side and then just cut the panel over here. I think it might actually stretch if I bring it around this way, and then you know.
They should have everyone a chance to speak.
Okay. So, on this day, on this blessed day, the day of the anniversary of the appearance of Srila Gurudev, many devotees, as you can see, have so much to share. So many remembrances of Srila Gurudev, and we will have a time limit. This morning it was not announced, and there was some confusion, but I always announce that there will be a time limit, and also I request that we should try to stay on topic. The topic is really easy, Srila Gurudev. His name, his form, his qualities, his pastimes, his affection, his chastisement, his impact, but all related to Srila Gurudev, how he has touched us. And every single person in this room is here because Gurudev has somehow or other impacted us. And we feel affection and or appreciation for him. Directly or indirectly, he has impacted our lives. So please raise your hand if you would like to speak something. Oh, Prabhu, he went like this. He put his hand like that. Yeah, yes. I know. Savitri Didi, please come forward. I don't have a seat down, so you will have to sit on chairs, everyone, so please forgive me. जोर से बोलो. Okay.
Okay. First of all, I offer my obeisances to my Guru Dev Nityalil Vishnu's Pada Stotra Sishimat Bhaktivinoda Narayan Goswami Maharaj. In the same way to my Shiksha Gurus Nityalil Vishnu's Pada Stotra Sishimat Bhaktivinoda Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Nityalil Vishnu's Pada Stotra Sishimat Bhaktivinoda Trijal Goswami Maharaj. Nityalil Vishnu's Pada Stotra Sishimat Bhaktivinoda Swami Maharaj. My Guru Varga, alle wijsneers en wijzers, weer ever present. Let me see where it was. Okay. We have to speak about name, fame, and whatever. When he said name, then I thought, okay. You see, Gurudev was fearless. Yes. Totally fearless. And I was thinking, this is really wonderful. Why this came to my mind is because one time Gurudev was, when he was, it was, I think, after Navadipaligram or somewhere in Navadipaligram, then at that time he was going to the temple, some temples, like Bhakti Rakshashila Goswami Maharaj temple. And one time they treated him very badly, and showed him off. Some of the disciples of Govinda Maharaj and so on. Govinda Maharaj didn't say anything. So the next, I think it was the next year of the next time, I don't know exactly, there was some time in there, Gurudev brought us to the Ghat. I think it was the next year. Gurudev brought us to the ghat and we walked past the temple of Bhakti Rakshashida Goswami Maharaj, and suddenly Gurudev stopped. And I was just not so far from him. And I said, okay, let's see what Gurudev is going to do. And Gurudev was thinking 1 second and marched in like this. And made his obeisances to Bhakti Rakshashida Goswami Maharaj, his Samadhi Mandir, and marched out again. And all the devotees behind him also. So this is fearlessness. Because here is a slok. It is, I like it because it starts with Gurudev's name also. It is from Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Narayana para sarvana kutushgana vibhatya sarga upavaga naraksha apituyatha darshani. It says the devotees exclusively dedicated to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan never fail in any condition of life. So for them, the heavenly planets, liberation, or the hellish planets are the same. So no difference. So because such devotees are completely immersed in the service of the Lord. Now this is what I saw also in Gurudev. I never saw him doing something else than only the service to his Gurudev. Yeah? And so the service to his Guru Parampara. Whether he was sitting and absorbed himself in chanting, if he was sitting on the grass or whatever, or when he was writing, I saw him in Rishikesh. He was in Rishikesh and we're not allowed to go, of course, but I went with some group and we wanted to see him, and then Dvija Prabhu was his cook, and at that time Dvija Prabhu opened the door a little bit, and I saw that Gurudev was completely absorbed. He didn't notice anything. He didn't notice whether we were there or whatever, completely absorbed in what he was doing, writing, nothing else. So this was very wonderful. And whatever you could say, and he would not move 1 inch. He was completely like focused. So this is how immersed Gurudev was in his service. This is why he came. He came to the service of his Gurudev. When he left his parental house, his marriage and everything, he went straight to his Gurudev and surrendered fully to him. Because in his when he was born, Gurudev said himself, and when he was a child, then his mother was putting him in one place and he was staying there like this. So that's why they were calling him Bola. Gurudev was born now today in Mauni Amavasya. So that is special because the connection is there. Also eternally because Lord Shiva is Gopishma in the spiritual world. So they have some connection there. No? Yes. So I think somebody was saying that the dates of the appearance is not decided by a nakshatra or whatever, but it is something which is decided by Krishna himself if it comes to pure devotees. So it is amazing because also Sanatana Goswami has the strong bondage with Lord Shiva. So it is a quite amazing day. Also, you were talking about the name of Gurudev said one time he was leaving, I think he says, I will always take care of you. And I will see up to you that you're okay. He says, and also I will see your good and bad things, what you're doing, because I'm part of parcel of that Narayan. So that was really nice. Gurudev was always quoting out all this when he was speaking. He was always like quoting this slok, Narayan Namaskita, Nam Chaiva Naraitam, Deving Saraswati Vyasam, Tator Hiriam Udiyar. Yes, he was, and today is the Vyas Puja also. Vyas Puja means also we have to honor Sri Vyasdev also. And Gurudev Vyas, the whole Guru Parampara is Vyas. And because they're sitting on that asana of Vyasdev. And because there's not only one Vyas, but many to come. But the Vyas should be also pure. And it is not like this that you can sit on an asana and speak Srimad Bhagavatam or whatever. And you have to be properly situated. For that reason, this slok is a very good slok to learn also. And Srila Gurudev also, in his birth name was Sriman Narayan. Means Sriman, but it means you're very beautiful, and like Narayan. So it was, and he is, he is very beautiful Gurudev. in his talking, in his speaking, in his form. If you see Gurudev walking, so charming, you know. So in that time, he was also very beautiful. And then when he came to Param Gurudev, then he took initiation. Gurudev said he took Diksha and Harinam was given immediately to him at the same time. So because some people have to wait like 4 or 5 years to get after the Harinam Diksha. And immediately when he came in Gorpanim time, he got Harinam and Diksha. So there was only a couple of months because he came just maybe a few months, I don't know exactly, before Gorpunim. So he attended Gorpunim and then he got Harinam and Diksha. And Prabhupada gave him the name Gaur Narayan. So Gaur is beautiful, isn't it? No. Well, because Gurudev, Mahaprabhu Gaur Sundar is also beautiful golden. If you see Gurudev's complexion also, it is like golden. And with his beautiful blue eyes, it's very charming. So after that, not so long after, then he got the name Bhaktivedanta Narayan. So he kept that name Narayan, stayed with him. Also when he took, I think when he left, he also in the month of Paus. The Paus is the month of Narayan also. Yeah. So it is like amazing. I don't know, I never asked him or how it comes or how it can be. But anyway, it's beautiful. And then his name was Bhakti Vedanta. Now then I saw Bhakti Vedanta. Gurudev was one and all bhakti for everybody. He was like spreading bhakti for everybody. So that name Bhakti, it comes from the root, is called bhaj. It means to serve. Yeah. So Gurudev was going all over the world serving. His name said it already, Bhakti Vedanta. So at that time, but the service which he gave was the pure service. He was not saturated with material things or whatever. He was giving and always giving pure Tattva Siddhanta. That's why always he was quoting this slok, Anyabhila Sita Sunyam. Everywhere he went, this slok came, everywhere. And this has connection with the bhakti which he wants to give. Bhakti should be pure. It has no effect for anybody if it is impure. Because we are already like in an impure state when you are coming to this world. Everybody who takes birth in this world is a Sudra by birth. Yeah? So you can imagine your situation. So Gurudev came to get us out of this situation. And then Vedanta, so beautiful, Bhakti Vedanta. Vedanta means the end piece of the Upanishads. And that means Vedic knowledge. Now Vedic knowledge is Vedanta Sutra. And it is summarized, the Upanishads are summarized, made very, very concise, small, concise. Yes, and that is Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So not only that, but the essence of this Srimad Bhagavatam is Mahabhav, is Gopi Bhav, and most Madanakya Mahabhav. And who is the embodiment of this Mahanakya Mahabhav? Srimati Radhika. So Srimad Bhagavatam is only speaking about the glories of Srimati Radhika. And this is Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is not, if you know this, if you realize a little bit this what Gurudev was giving, how deep it is, in fact, then you will see that when the Bhagavad speakers are there, and they're doing, and they're saying something, and tralala, and there's some child coming playing Krishna or whatever, then you think it's a little bit strange. Yeah, yeah. So this see, Srimad Bhagavatam, who has the key? Who knows Bhagavatam? And who has the key? Only the ones who are in the line of Rupa Goswami. Yes, and it is maybe a harsh statement. It is not that I'm ignoring all the other Sampradayas. It is not like that, but they are not giving this with. Yes. So this is the thing. Our Sampradaya, our Guru Varga, Rupanuga Guru Varga, they have that key in their hands. And they can open it. If somebody is attracted to this line, it means you're attracted to be Radha Dasi. How else? So let me see. So anyway, our Guru Parampara is very glorious, and all the moods, everything is coming from Rupa Goswami straight in the heart of Gurudev, and mixed with his own realizations and his own, moods, his nature. That is what he's giving. And that is what we are seeing. And for everybody, sometimes it is different because you have a different experience, you, everybody. But is still, we all agree that is very beautiful, and what Gurudev has given, it is very powerful, it is honest, it is, how can you say, completely transcendental, and it will bring us really, when Gurudev said these things, if you follow me, I will bring you to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Savitri Didi, for sharing. When she mentioned Mahadev and Gopishwar, I remember reading from Srila Gurudev, he told that when he was young, he was in the line of Ramanuja, Sri Sampradaya, in Ramanandi's lineage. Very, very high-class Brahmin family, Tiwari Brahmin. And he said he was always praying, chanting Hanuman Chalisa, praying to Ram. He would accompany his father to all of the Ramayan Mandalis, and he was very well versed in Ramcharitamanas, Ramayana, and everything. And he said, by the mercy of Hanuman, whose original form is Gopishwar Mahadev, by the mercy of Hanuman, by all of his prayers to Hanuman, he was brought to Vrindavan. And of course, we all know that one cannot enter Vrindavan without the visa stamp given by Gopishwar. And so he said, by the mercy of the original form of Hanuman, Gopishwar, he was brought to Vrindavan, and then he was placed into the service of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Next, I would like to call on Bakula Devi Dasi to come forward and offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. Don't play with the mic, it's feeding Zach.
Om Agyanatimanandasya Vinandjala Shalakaya Sakshunam Nitamina Tasmai Shri Namaha.
Is it okay?
Yeah. I offer my unlimited obeisances unto the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev Nityalila Vishnu Vishnu Padashtutala Shata Shishima Bhagavata Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Shiksha Guru Nityalila Vishnu Vishnu Padashtutala Shata Shishima Bhagavata Bharati Maharaj, all the acharyas of our Guru Varga. So on this auspicious day, on the appearance day of our Gurudev, this morning Amal Krishna Babu said something very nice. If we actually don't think every day of Guru, of Hari, of Vaishnavas, what do we do then actually with our mind? So on these tithis, we for many years we assemble here and we take advantage of these days, and we from morning to evening we try to remember Gurudev. We hear from him, we hear about him a lot. Maybe our mind is again going to other topics, but again we catch hold of it, pull him back, because we should do this. This is actually the real meaning of spending our time, because we hear again and again this rare opportunity, this human form of life, so rare, and so many millions of species are there. So we have attained it, and we have attained not only a human form, but also Sadguru. So I was hearing in some classes, in this katha, one devotee was asking Gurudev a question. He says, Gurudev, sometimes it seems that Guru is partial, like he is favoring some devotees. Gurudev said, yes, it's like this. The devotee was a little bit perplexed. Yes, but Gurudev, you always say you're equal, distributing your mercy equally. And Gurudev said, see, if you go outside and the sun is shining, you will receive the rays of the sun. But if you hide in your room and lock the door, so you will not be able to experience the heat of the sun, and you will not be able to relish the warm rays of the sun. So in the same way, those who are serving Guru, who take advantage of going out, like following Gurudev instructions, serving him, definitely Gurudev is favoring them and bestowing all his mercy upon them. Krishna is doing this also. If some sakhas are pleasing him very much, Gurudev said, then he favors them. He gives him so much mercy. Sometimes you also hear the example that Gurudev said there is rain falling. The rain is falling on mountains, but can the mountains keep the rain? It drops down. It's gone in a fraction of a second. But the ponds and rivers or containers, they fill up with water. So either this example or that example, either we have a container to keep it or we go out in the sun. Something we have to do to please Guru and to be recipient of this favor. So it is not that he is partial, but it's a natural thing that the mercy is always there. But we have to catch hold of it, try to get it. And he is telling us how to do. So our Srila Gurudev was always speaking about two forms, like Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they go when practically the soul splits in two parts. This was always very, Kishore Mohan mentioned it before, very difficult to understand, but it is like this, that like our spiritual form is serving in Krishna Lila and in Gaur Lila. So our Gurudev was Vraj Rasik. We hear, if we hear on the tapes, 90 or say 80% are filled with Vraj Ras. But it doesn't mean that he was not fully able to qualify to describe Gaur Tattva. So once a devotee also asked a little bit more about Gaur Tattva, because what is our swarup there? And Gurudev said something very beautiful and interesting. In the same way, he said, like we don't jump immediately into Radha Krishna Lila, because when we leave this body here in this material world, we may have reached Prem, but we need to come up to Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav. Then as a mantra we have the eligibility to serve. In the same way, in Gaur Lila, we don't jump immediately in Gaur Lila. So we take birth maybe in a Lila 200 years ago of Narottam Das Thakur or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because these Leelas of the Parikas of Mahaprabhu are also Nitya. So it's not only like Mahaprabhu Leela is Nitya, also the Parikas who are all connected with Mahaprabhu are Nitya. Like we know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed his praying in this Padma river for Narottam. He knew he is coming, so there are connections with the Parikas, associates, and Mahaprabhu. So when we take birth in a Leela of, for example, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur a couple of 100 years ago, we will also have the possibility to condense our baths, because this is what we do when we associate with Nitya Parikas, either Lalita Sakhi or Vishaka, and get trained in all these arts, or these Nitya Parikas of Mahaprabhu, because we have to become also qualified then to enter to serve Mahaprabhu. This was interesting that we know it is a process, and it's a very clear and beautiful outlined path Gurudev gave us. So it is, I wanted to make mention another point, like those who were traveling with Gurudev, they were always forced to study verses. Maybe you also were asked of Gurudev, or maybe...
Yeah, one of our very first meetings in Keshivji Gaudimat, he wanted us to learn 5th verse of Upadeshamrita overnight.
So much, yeah. But especially I heard those who were in this group while traveling, he really focused them on study every day. And he asked also the devotees. Bhajana Prabhu also told one leader, like they were asked every day by Gurudev, what verse did you learn, and tell it. And actually in walking with the saint, there was a beautiful discussion between some devotees and Gurudev. There Gurudev asked one devotee, which verse did you learn? Kshanti Avyata Kaladvam. So he was able to recite the whole verse and describe the tattva in it and everything. So then Gurudev said, did you really learn this verse? And the devotee said, yes, I learned it. But then Gurudev said, why do I ask all of you to recite verses daily and to study them? Why? So the devotees gave different answers. You want that our Siddhanta becomes strong, that we have a good foundation, our mind is focused, like they gave different reasons. And then Gurudev said, no, I want that you realize all these verses. It's not so that you simply learn them by heart, impress others, you should realize them. And Gurudev said, one devotee, I gave a verse from Bhagavatam, describing the danger of being together with the opposite sex. Like, it is so dangerous, if you cannot give up this weakness of the heart, you will suffer for lifetimes. So this was the verse, I can't remember the context of this verse, like the Sanskrit. But Gurudev said, this devotee memorized this verse, but he couldn't realize it. And then he said, Gurudev said, Krishna was also asking the Pandavas always to study verses. One day Krishna was asking the Pandavas, have you learned the verse which I gave you yesterday? And they all were saying, yeah, we learned the verses. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, what did he say? No, Krishna, I couldn't learn the verse. He knew the verse by heart, but he was so humble. Yudhishthira Maharaj was so humble. He understood. It's not about learning, it's about realizing. So this point was interesting, that we understand that these verses can be easily, nowadays, that so many Bhagavad Gita speakers are there, they are so powerful and they know so much. And it sounds so good and it's so impressive when they speak. But like the depth we have, like Savitri said, through our Guru Varga to really understand the depth of Bhagavatam and to, not to float on the surface and to really go to realization of these slokas. Because Guru once also said, all these verses of Bhagavatam, they are one swarup, they are one form. We have to pray to them that they manifest in our hearts. And there is one beautiful verse, Tvatu Kyanam Hi Jivanam, Pamosas Tattva Darshina, Tvam Eva Yatma Mayaya, Gatam Veta Nachapanaha. This verse here describes that actually everything comes from Krishna, all knowledge of the living entities, everything comes from Krishna. But the potency of Krishna, this illusionary potency, is able to take this knowledge away in a fraction of a second. So, and only in this verse it says, only Krishna knows this illusionary potency really. Nobody else knows this, only Krishna. So, I was remembering that one disciple of Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he always went out of the temple, even to go to buy a toothpaste or something, but he was always so scared to leave the mud. He said, if I go out, Maya is waiting there. Yes. So he was saying that we also, I want to pray that I don't become, take it for granted, because this is a path which is, walking on the, what is it called, razor's edge, yes. So we can actually fall any second down, and this illusory energy is so powerful that we really develop the qualities of a devotee and be protected and know that actually this knowledge is given by Krishna, not that we have learned something, it is given. When we know something, give nice kata, whatever, it is given. It is given and it can be taken away again. We see it in our years we have passed with Gurudev. So many devotees came, bloomed, blossomed, and disappeared. We have seen it. So it can be taken away. We can be covered very quickly, so that we know what we are doing and have regard for this external energy of Krishna and be, So I pray that this mercy is bestowed upon me. Jai Gurudev ki jai.
Thank you, Bakula Didi, for sharing so many beautiful points she made. Just now she was speaking about razor's edge. There's actually a verse in the Bhagavatam, and the word in Sanskrit is kshuram. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks about kshuram being a razor's edge. When I was little, I always thought it meant you're running on the edge of a razor and you can fall over either side very easily. But he was saying if you're getting shaved by a straight razor, in India they use these straight razors, not with the aloe vera gel and all of that stuff. And he said, one moment of distraction and immediately you are cut and blood will come. One moment of distraction. So Bakula Didi was also speaking about learning shloks and all of these things. I have a personal interaction with Srila Gurudev where I was very expertly trying to pronounce the 7th verse of Upadeshamrita, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi. I was sitting right here next to him in Murwalimba, and everyone chanted it with him, and I was chanting it very loudly because I knew the Sanskrit, the loudest. And he looked at me, oh, you know this shlok? He said, stand up and speak. And I was like, uh-oh. So I stood up and spoke the whole verse in a very condensed form, 2 sentences. And he said, that's all? And everyone's saying, tell this. And I'm like, I did. And they said, tell that. You said in one moment, everything can be lost. I experienced that. And Gurudev just looked at me and he said, only knowing the shlok will not do. Sit down. And I was like, got it. So thank you for sharing so many beautiful points. Tunga Vidya Didi, I would like to call you forward to offer your Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev and to share some beautiful memories of Gurudev. Oh, you will.
I'm so sorry.
He used to tease you all the time.
Kasi.
Remember when he just didn't look at you for 6 months?
Oh, but I told already.
Yes. Don't touch the mic, okay?
Okay. Oh, Mariana Timranda Shakyana Gina Salakaya Jakshu Militanyana Tasmai Shikure Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Vyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Dinamine. I offer my not even humble but obeisances to Srila Gurudev's lotus feet and pray for inspiration because it had not come yet. Oops. Yeah, it's not lying. I am hanging.
Yes, I'll bring him over here and lift it up. Okay. Better?
Yeah. So there's many things, of course, but sometimes they don't come. So today it's one of those days. But while different devotees are speaking, I was thinking Gurudev was and is so extremely expert how to deal with people, how to attract people. Very, very, very stunning. In this assembly it was not Brighton,
Bristol?
no, Birmingham. He was talking to Muslims, and they were all attracted, and they want to hear from him. So that's amazing. And then suddenly in the Melbourne, he's talking to this priest, and this priest is all in awe and reverence of Gurudev. But Gurudev, he just uplifted him totally, that he does the right thing and he should be a priest and he should stay a priest and just follow not the best they can do. He was absolutely not sectarian at all with anyone, from the garbage man to the president and everything in between, and spiritual people. And even I saw him talk to the plants and ask different devotees, how is my garden? How are my flowers and plants and trees today? And he would actually go there and talk to them and care for them. He would squat down and then attend to them with attention. So, no, we were in the Sequoia Park near Badger with these huge, huge trees. No, they are the tallest trees, I think, in the world. And we do the kirtan, and he liberated those trees. So it's very, very amazing. And then we come out, we go to the car back, and then there's some drunk Sikh people. And he was just the most charming person, and they were all in awe and reverence about Srila Gurudev. And he naturally attracted the whole world, basically. No, here also any military man, any judge, but also the garbage girls in Mathura, they were so attracted to him. She knows that. She's agreeing. So that is one of the qualities of Gurudev. And also one thing, he was on a whale watch. Maybe I told it before. He was on a whale watch, or somebody else told it maybe, in Hawaii. And somebody asked him, why are you doing that? No, it's kind of mundane thing. And they were about 2 miles out of the coast. And he told that person, you see there in the distance, those black spots, they are people. They benefit from me being here. So that means the birds, the beasts, the whales, the humans, now the boatman, anyone, in miles and miles radius. And I don't know what is in the Shastra, how much Miles, or maybe the whole world, no, they benefit from the pure devotee.
Yeah.
So he attracted all of us, and by his mercy we came to his lotus feet. So, and I pray that I can overcome all my offenses to his lotus feet, and all of you also. I
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Very quickly. So Sudevi, when Tungabhadra Didi was speaking, remembered and reminded me that it was something that Vrinda Didi told. In 1996, when Srila Gurudev went to the US, they were in California, and they stopped at a petrol stop in Bakersfield, or somewhere on the way to Bakersfield, halfway between Los Angeles and Badger, New Bruges. And there was a group of motorcycle riders, bikers. Now, everyone keeps their distance from these people because they're kind of burly and rough by their nature. Everyone knows, don't mess with them. Srila Gurudev saw the biggest guy, and he had a big handlebar mustache. And little Gurudev, in his little pink clothes, straight out of India, walks right up to this massive guy and starts twisting his mustache. And he's like, when I was young, I also had one of these. And the guy was just charmed. Yes. Oh, yes. Regarding that history of Srila Gurudev going to see the whales, actually he told at that time that he was liberating them. And less than a couple of weeks later, there was a chemical spill, and all of those whales died. But Gurudev could see in advance. He was giving his mercy, he was giving affection in the form of mercy. You mentioned one thing about how much distance is covered by the mercy of a pure devotee. Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, and Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj have told the same thing. That without the presence of any pure devotee in this universe, it would cease to exist in a moment, because there would be no purpose for its existence. The purpose of this universe is for Krishna to give his mercy to the jivas, and he gives his mercy through the form of the pure devotees. So how far does their Shakti reach? Throughout the entire universe, at least. So it's a very beautiful concept. Thank you for bringing that up. Next, I would like to call on Shashikala Didi. When you're ready. Manjulali Didi to please come forward. Manjulata Didi to please, she's your senior, she's telling that you should go first, so now you must come. Manjulata. Okay. I have to be ready to switch in a moment's notice. Don't touch the mic, okay? There's feedback here. Is that good?
Yeah.
And Jor se bolo? Yes. Who's your Gurudev? He's a lion. And who is his daughter?
Yeah.
A lion. Chalo. Jor se bolo.
Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Iti Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Gaura Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyam Keshavaya Iti Namane Vancha Kalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, I think this For a very tiny, insignificant jiva, it's very difficult to find something that can say to glorify such a great personality. I feel today I was all day thinking, if I'm asked to say something, what I would say. And it's so difficult. I mean, his glory is not unlimited, but I just feel like what this tiny jiva can actually say to glorify. A few days ago, when I was reading this article of Srila Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, when he's glorifying Srila Prabhupada, he's saying, when he's speaking about his mercy, he's saying we should remember where we were before. Like, I think in my life, before they came in my life, where I was lost. I have no desire to live, I have no intention to live, I have no purpose to live. And I feel like if I see my life now, he gave me a place, he gave me association, he gave me so many beautiful conceptions, he gave a purpose of life, he gave everything. So, what can a small, tiny jiva say to glorify Sri Guru? Today, when Prabhu, he was speaking about chanting Nam, and then after Devi Devi was speaking more about chanting Nam. This is for me in a sense. Some time ago, I heard this from Gurudev, and I just felt maybe I can share about this. I don't have much interaction with Gurudev, sadly, but at least I can try to share something about his conceptions. So, I share about this in the Bausani conference, but still I felt like it's something so valuable. And that's why I want to share a little about this. So, Gurudev in one class, he's speaking so beautifully. Today we're hearing like how we need to chant now. But Gurudev there, he was teaching how we should chant now. How can we actually come to the point that... And then Gurudev is taking one prayer of Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami in the Namastak, Sri Krishna Namastak, in the last verse, he's praying in a very beautiful way. He's saying, at the end, he said, Twan Krishna Nama Kaman Spurane Me Rasina Rasina Sadan. So he's praying like, oh now, I'm praying to you that you can always manifest in my tongue, full of rasa. So Gurudev there, he was speaking, I think this is something very valuable. That's why I wanted to share this. Our life is served now. And actually, Nam is not something that we can... Gurudev said, like, here Rupa Goswami is praying to Nam, you please come to my tongue. It's not that I can chant Nam. Nam need to descend to my tongue. And Gurudev said, in which tongue Nam will come? Only someone who is seven move. If we want to serve Nam, and this is because we are here, and Gurudev himself says, Sadhu Sangha means we need to imbibe the conceptions of our Guru Marga. If we want to actually be in his association, we need to follow what he has given us. If we want to serve Nam, if we want to actually chant Nam, Nam need to descend to our tongue. So Gurudev is playing so beautiful, and this is something Gurudev's speciality, how he will go so deep, just one line, and he's just breaking it up and bringing like so many beautiful things. You say, because actually, come on, Nam, he will not, only when Nam please, he will descend. He quotes one verse of the scripture, Nayam Atma Pravachanena Navya, Nam Eva Nana Magunashtena, Yam Evasa, Bibinute. So, one can have a lot of intelligence, a lot of speaking very much, hearing very much, but really only when the Lord himself wants, he will reveal. And Gurudev says, only when Nam will be pleased, Nam will descend to our tongue. And Gurudev said, to which tongue? Someone who's seven mukh. And for that, how we need to be? Say, we need to be fully surrendered, unconditionally surrendered to Sri Guru, fully under the guidance of Sri Guru. Otherwise, we cannot become Savanmukh. We can chant lakhs and lakhs and lakhs, but unless we are Savanmukh, Nam will not
descend. And then Gurudev says something very beautiful. He said, when here Rupa Goswami, he's not praying just, you please descend in my tongue. Say, Rasina, you come with ras. You know? And Gurudev said, when this Nam will descend in this tongue, then this tongue will become Lila Bhumi. That Nam is full of ras, means all pastimes are there. All the beautiful forms, everything of Radha Krishna, everything is inside this Nam. So, and then Gurudev said, and after that, because we will be able to relish this now, then like that verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, then one will be laughing, one will be there's one become fully, I don't know how you said, you have no conscience of external. You're just so much, sometimes crying, sometimes calling out, sometimes just fainting, sometimes, and not considering what people think about you. This is what we want. So today I was thinking what Gurudev gave us, it's so valuable. Every single aspect of his teachings are so deep. Every single aspect of our spiritual life, we can find instruction of Gurudev, how we can go really in this practice. It's not just chanting now. We need to become Sarvamukha Nam descending in our tongue, full of rest. This is what we want. And in every single aspect of our spiritual life, we need to go so deep. And Gurudev has given us so many beautiful instructions. I feel actually very stupid speaking all these things in front of so many singers about this actually. But still I feel I pray that one day I can become like this. I can become fully surrendered to Sri Guru. I can be fully under his guidance, having full faith in his conception, entering deeply every single of his conceptions and bringing it up fully in my life. Like Bhagavad was saying, we are learning so many things, but what is the point? It's just not a theoretical thing. We need to bring to our life, to realize we need to follow. If we are not following, that's why Gurudev say, Sadhu Sangha means Samyak Rupena Anugamana. Means I can be close to the Vaishnava, but like a mosquito is also close there, I need to follow their conceptions. I need to follow what is in the heart of Sri Guru. So I pray from the core of my heart that I can actually enter the conception like Gurudev, that I can actually be under his guidance, that I can actually serve those who are his dear ones, and then somehow I can actually become Sarvamukha and become real servant. Vaikuntha Kalpakavyacha Kripasindhuja Patitanam Pavanyo.
Thank you, Manjulali Didi, for sharing what Srila Gurudev shared about Sri Harinam. I just wanted to add a little bit because she mentioned Bakula Didi. Bakula Didi was telling about how although Gurudev, we hear in his Harikatha that more than 80% of it, the recorded Harikatha, is saturated in Brajaras. Yet he was also fully saturated in Gaur Katha and Gaur Lila. And I remember the first time I heard about the Harikatha that Gurudev was telling, Sudevi told me, I believe on the phone, she was telling me how Gurudev was weeping and weeping. It was in New Braj, right? While speaking about Sachinandan Gaurahari receiving his haircut, when he was receiving sannyas, how Gurudev was weeping and weeping. How deeply immersed was Gurudev in Gaur Lila. And if someone is actually deeply immersed in Radha Krishna Lila, Radha Krishna together, they are also deeply immersed in Gaur Lila. So she ran away. Is that right?
Yeah.
Don't touch the mic.
Ajnanandasya gnananjalasalakaya Sakshumnitanena tasmai Sugandhya Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Vyatmani Shishima Bhakti Vinod Narayani Namani. Yeah. I also feel quite shy and embarrassed to speak for IU because, especially on days like this, I really feel that the most essential part is really like to surrender. And on these days, for me, it's like a big mirror how far this real surrender actually is. But on the other hand, I see how easy Gurudev it makes to surrender to him, because his whole nature and how he approached everyone. We just heard he was speaking to the bikers, to all the people, and they at once felt a connection to Gurudev. And for me, this is also such a special thing. Yeah. I myself also don't have so much personal exchanges with Gurudev, but these few moments are like really, yeah, you can never forget those moments. For example, it was on his last Vyasa Puja in Brazil, and I did some seva in the kitchen, and before I left my japa, which was still from Gurudev, on a counter somewhere outside, and when I finished in the kitchen, the japa was gone. And I was so heartbroken. And I really couldn't find, I didn't get this japa back, so I had to get a new one. So I had this new japa, and I was all the time thinking, okay, what are you doing now? Actually, I don't want to go to Gurudev saying, I lost your japa, please can you bless this japa again? Yeah. But on the other hand, how possible not to do it? So I was there, had this japa, I had this japa also in class with me, and then when class finished, everyone knows there was this big line, Gurudev was going out, and I was in front, still had this japa in my hands, still not sure what to do. I just couldn't bring it over myself to just give it to Gurudev. But Gurudev really stopped in front of me, looked at me, grabbed this japa, looked at me like this, put it on his hand, gave it back to me. And I was just like, wow. Yeah, so these kinds of moments you just can't forget. And on a day like this, I'm always so thankful and so overwhelmed that I got this opportunity to get in touch with a personality like Gurudev. And I'm also so happy to have the association with his devotees who really endeavor to surrender more and more and more and really try to invite his teachings. And yet this is also Gurudev's mercy and his presence for this soil with you. Yamashaka Patuva Sakipasini Pachapatitanam Pavini Vaishnavi Namo.
Nagara Didi.
Can I sit on the floor?
You can, if you'd like.
No,
Go ahead,
I
sit down.
cannot think properly when I sit.
We still have time limits.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
okay?
Om Dhyanatimirandasya Jnanam Janashalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jnanam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadavaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Namaha Vishnupada Radhikaya Prayatmane Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Tinamine Haderika Kupadagagadaya Chavacha Yachaini Patam Bhuvidanta Vatu Padarte Asya Prasadama Buddhasya Janasya Kritva Gandharvike Jagane Ganana Videhi. No need to worry about long time. I cannot speak at all. I was, by mercy, Gurudev was, just now I was speaking 1 hour. Usually, because I'm sick, I cannot speak more than 5 minutes. But 1 hour I was speaking now online. It doesn't work. It just... therefore, I will speak just a little bit whenever it is possible. Today, this Maharaj from Gaudiya Math, he said very nice thing about difference between material and transcendental. You remember? Very nice thing. Because of until we will reach that level ourselves, that level it is called Turiya, the fourth state of consciousness, which is above Raja Dhamma Guna, which is above sleepiness, which is above envy, which is above jealousy, which is above all these things. Until we will reach, we cannot fully and purely understand the words of those personalities. And we will always be engaged in debates. What is Vapu Mohaya? What is Vani Mohaya? What we should do, what Gurudev told, what is the main, what is the secondary. It is natural. Until we will reach that level. And we all were speaking today. This is the only way to reach that level is just to follow, have Guru Nishta. Transcendental faith means faith in Shastras and following Gurudev's instruction, at least how we can understand now. Naturally, it will come. Because if I have very limited physical possibility, I will tell the main thing, what I want to tell about Srila Gurudev. One thing, without Srila Gurudev, he is a guardian. He is a true guardian for all Vaishnavas. Without him, he saved ISKCON. Without him, ISKCON not possible. And he saved Gaudiya Math. In India, now secular laws, not the laws Manu Samhita, not based on Varnashrama Dharma. It's neglected. It's not considered anymore from which Varna Ashrama you are. If somebody leave Bani, then his property is divided according to the secular law. So when Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada left, then his family came and they took Krishna Balaram, Mayapur, and pretended to take all the property. And the devotees was asked to leave, but vacant. And then they came to Srila Gurudev to ask help. And Srila Gurudev, even he has heart problem, he went there and many days was there debating against of secular law. And even it is already no more consideration about ashramas, he was able to convince judge that after sannyasi leaves, if somebody takes sannyas, this is a death for the family and no more connection. So he returned back properties to Krishna Balaram, Mayapur and everything. And when Guru Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada was leaving, all those disciples, they had first experience of Mahabhagavata Vaishnava. And then now they saw that he left his body. And Srila Gurudev told, never think that Guru can live. He was many days, so much Harikatha spent to explain that Guru always here. You never think that Guru lives. Even if after this many people still went down, then he saved ISKCON. He was a guardian of ISKCON. He saved ISKCON. He saved Gaudiya Math, whole Gaudiya Math. Like before today, Vajayanti did very nice remind the topic. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas were not accepted by Brajavasi, not in Mathura, not in Braj, not in Varshana, nowhere. So all Bengali devotees, they are inside their temple, they are doing something, but it was not public programs. Nobody was coming. And when Srila Gurudev came, then he started participating in Brahmanas assembly, establishing their truth, showing and at that level he established Siddhanta. Krishna was born not in Mathura, he was born in Gokula. He established many things there. And by his own example, he showed the beautiful, purest example of bhajana. It is very difficult, really very difficult to impress Brajavasi, who has many generations already, so many thousands of kind of sadhu. How you can express them that they will follow your instructions. But Srila Gurudev, by his purity, dedication, and absolutely selfless service to all people, he was coming and speaking. We just will bring asama, we will just do kirtan here. And then he took the heart of all Brajavasis. They accepted him. And after, because of his authority, they accepted the authority of Gaudiya Math. If Chaitanya Gaudiya Math was there on the corner, but it didn't have any authority until Keshavaja Gaudiya Math was opened in Mathura, and Srila Gurudev started preaching like this. Then all other Gaudiya Math had open door, and he saved the Vinodvani Gaudiya Math, and many other things. He said, we are one. um, and this is also not the main thing. Even this, he gave this fundament for us, for everyone. The main thing still, he said, I will stay here until Srimad Bhagavatam will be done. 11 canto and 10 canto. And under his correct guidance, Tirtha Maharaj, Sripad Bhaktivedanta Tirtha Maharaj, he did all these commentaries, 11 canto. 10 and 11 canto, they are ready. They are not published now, but they are ready. It was even, we don't know what is there, but that was the more important for Srila Gurudev. Because it was there, the topmost sadhu sangha. We cannot come now to Sri Rupa Goswami and to give him obeisances, to ask questions, to get answers. We cannot do this to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, to Srila Sanatana Goswami Pad. But when you get this in Srimad Bhagavatam, when they just open in their heart and give it the best sadhu sangha, this is the main instruction of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And our service has to be all together. Sankirtana, not everyone his own special service. Only all our together service can satisfy Shri Guru, Shri Krishna and Guru Varga. So, I'm finishing it. I'm Vanchakalpatarupescha Kripa Siddhi Bhavachapatitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Let's do all service together, please.
Thank you. I remember when Srila Gurudev was working on those commentaries with Tirtha Maharaj. I remember there's one verse, Tirtha Maharaj did like 57 pages of commentary on one verse. And Gurudev said, that's way too long, you have to condense it. And then he was condensing it more and more and more and removing so much. And then he just said, I can't condense to anything less than 27 pages for one commentary. So, very quickly here, from what we were speaking before, Bakula Didi, I can't remember who else, Tungavidya Didi was telling about Gurudev giving blessings. One of the devotees who was watching online, Anangapriya Didi, was remembering taking Gurudev to Niagara Falls, and he blessed all of the fish and the entities in the waters. So she shared that. And this, Vichitra Didi had sent this to Sudevi in September of 2021 from her notebook, July 27th, 1997. So Vichitra Didi had written, I stayed overnight in Mathura. The next morning at 8:20, Gurudev came out of his room to take darshan of the deities in the mandir. After, he stopped in front of me and was about to chastise me for being at the mutt. I gave him such a big smile, so he also slightly smiled and whispered, almost inaudibly, very crooked. Very crooked. Huh? Srila Gurudev, one time, Sudevi became Srila Gurudev's tray. She was holding a box of jalebis to Gurudev. And Gurudev said that the gopis, their hearts are very crooked. They have to be like this, like jalebis, so that Krishna cannot understand. In other words, they're able to run circles around Krishna. They're so sweet and full of rasa, but also so crooked like jalebis. And then he said, you should also be like a jalebi. So when Gurudev said very crooked to Vichitra, maybe because she's like a jalebi. Very sweet, full of ras, and very crooked. Next, I would like to call Rasakeli Didi to, as Gurudev would say 2 words. Uh-oh, it's all falling apart. Se bolo.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishima Narayana. I really not prepared to say anything, but one thing I can always remember, and Gurudev want us to make our heart a temple. So we were in Canada, and Gurudev was supposed not to go to Canada. No, he was coming from China, but like at that moment we were like in one city that we don't have any association. No, so we were like watching every day Gurudev Pure Bhakti TV, and we were really praying. Like, you imagine, we were like, my husband and me, we were saying, do you imagine if Gurudev come to Canada, like in one day? Like, we were like, every day thinking like that, no? Like, so, in the Pure Bhakti, they announced that Gurudev was coming for China, but was too long to go directly to US, so he will stop in Canada for 2 days. So my husband was working, and I was waiting, because at that moment I cannot really read English, so I was waiting for him, like he can confirm what I was thinking. No, like, and then my husband said, yeah, Gurudev is coming 2 days to Canada, to Vancouver. So we were so excited, and we went and we prepared our kids to. Every time you see Gurudev, you give obeisance to him. So Gurudev was that day before Gurudev arrived. Shamarani Didi say Gurudev was not supposed to come to Canada, but because so many devotees in Canada don't see Gurudev for many years, so these devotees attract with his heart to Gurudev, to Canada. So Gurudev was supposed to enter for one door, and we were waiting all inside the temple because it was cold, even though it was April. But that day become very cold, so they say, wait Gurudev inside the temple, not knowing the door, so he cannot. So we were there, and the only person that welcomed Gurudev actually was Kishore. We was like very tiny baby, and he was the only one because we were waiting one side, Gurudev, and Gurudev entered for other door. So Kishore gave pranam to Gurudev, and then no one want to take care of the shoes of Gurudev. The devotees say to too many devotees, you want to take Gurudev's shoes to this room and to keep there, and when the class finish, you take out, and everyone was saying no. But then they say to my husband, and my husband say, yeah, of course. So then there were 2 days program, and then really, my husband has this like no ego, but this thing in ISKCON, no, that open temples and do these big things, no. So we went good Gurudev and say we want to open a temple in Mexico, and he said, okay, if you open the temple, I will go. So I always say, no, like Gurudev is very like jalebi, like you say, and he promised to us, if we will open a temple, he will come. But what does that mean? If we make our heart a temple, no, he will come to our heart. So in this day, I prayed to Gurudev that please make my heart a temple. so you can come in my heart.
Thank you, Rasakeli Didi. That's a very beautiful prayer, not only for you, but for all of us, that may our hearts become like temples, so that Srila Gurudev will definitely come again and again. So we have come to the end of our today's glorifications of Srila Gurudev physically, and we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow also in the morning until about midday in Govardhan, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, what's the name of his temple again? Kunjakuti, something like that. So he's hosting a program which is basically a follow-up to today's program, remembering Srila Gurudev, and he's inviting all of the devotees to come. So from 9 o'clock until Prashadam, so probably ending by 1 o'clock in the afternoon at Govardhan, just at the bypass road that goes toward Barshana, about 200 meters in and to the left. You can't miss it. So Srila Gurudev had a very magic ability, perhaps you can all confirm this, to make us feel like we have relationship with Harinam. To make us feel like we have relationship not only with him, but also with our Srila Prabhupada, with all of our Guru Varga, even those that we didn't have relationship with before. He would speak about them in such a way, glorify them in such a way, encourage others to glorify and remember them in such a way that we began to feel mamata for them. Not only the ones who are physically present, but the ones who were physically present in the past. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, Sri Sanatana Goswami Pad. He gave us this feeling of, this is my family. I have a relationship with these personalities, and if I pray to them, they will answer me. So Srila Gurudev embodied this verse, Nama Shreshtham Manamabi Sachiputram Atra Surupam Rupam Tasya Grajamunupurim Madhurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivarmaho Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Prititak Paya Shri Gurum Tannatosmi. When he would bring us on parikrama to all of the holy places, he would tell us to put our heads in the dust, sometimes to roll in the dust, to put it on our heads, to put it in our mouth, and to hear the Harikatha of those places and to kirtan in those places. And by that, he would be forming our relationship with that holy place in such a way that we feel familiarity with it. When you go to that place, I know this place because my Gurudev placed it in my heart. And he placed me in its heart together. He gave us a relationship together. So not only with all of these personalities, our Guru Varga, not only with Vaishnavas, not only with Radha, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also with the Dham, with the Shastra, with every aspect of bhakti. He made it so real, so tangible, so hopeful, and so possible that we could have this hope. Although it seems hopeless, I remember in Badger Gurudev was telling something about how far and how high that aspiration is. And we were all feeling like, oh my God, it's impossible. And then he said, but don't be hopeless. Never be hopeless. And so he also encouraged hopefulness in a way that we weren't allowed to be hopeless. Why? Because he is holding their hand and he is holding our hand. And he has given us this promise and this guarantee. If you hold on to my hand, if you hold on to my little finger and don't let go, I guarantee I will make that connection for you. So, Arti is just coming very quickly. So we were in San Francisco and Srila Gurudev told, once upon a time, there was a very young girl. It's short. And her mother saw, oh, it is time for me to search for a good husband for her. So she found a very expert, beautiful, and charming, sweet groom for her daughter. And every day at dinner, she would speak with her friends around the table about his quality. She would go to the home and see how he was winning the sports matches, how he was singing, how he was expert in all arts, how he was good at dancing and musical instruments and singing, how tall, dark, and handsome he was. And she would speak with her friends about it, and her daughter would only hear it from the background. And as she was hearing about this young man, gradually her heart was becoming attracted more and more and more. Oh, he sounds really interesting. He sounds amazing. Oh, I would love to meet him. Oh, if I were ever to meet him, I would give him my heart completely. And Srila Gurudev said that expert mother knew when the right time was there. One day she left a picture of him on the chair. And then she told her daughter, you should clean the table. So the mother and all the friends, they left, and the daughter was cleaning the table. And just then, she saw a picture on the chair. And she said, this must be him. He looks just like what my mother was describing, but 1,000,000 times better. And she took that picture, hid it in her, Gurudev told us, she hid it under her clothes, she ran into her room, she locked the door, and she put it next to her bed, and she just dreamed of the day when they would meet, when she could give her heart to him, and he would give his heart to her, and all of their desires would be fulfilled. So Srila Gurudev said, Gurudev is like this expert mother. We have never met Krishna, but by the sweet Hari Katha of Gurudev, speaking about Krishna, how tall, dark, and handsome he is, how he's expert in all arts, how he's expert in all instruments and sports, how charming he is, how sweet he is, how his voice is deep like thunder, how when he sings, everyone's heart melts, how his eyes are beautiful like lotus petals. Automatically our hearts will melt, and we will want to meet and give our hearts to him and serve him in every way. So Srila Gurudev said, by the Harikatha of Gurudev, this desire will manifest, that we will want to serve Krishna. And he said, and when the time is right, then that mother will arrange for their marriage. And then all of their desires will be fulfilled. So in the same way, when the time is right, when our heart is fully given unto Krishna, Gurudev will connect us with Krishna and all of our desires will be fulfilled. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanuma Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Radha Gopinath ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Ho. Now it is time for Aarti. Late Aarti, but better late than never. Hare Krishna. Whoever's here. It's us. Shri Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai. Sachidananda Gaur Hari ki jai. Tulsi Maharani ki jai. Again. Look how beautiful. Srila Gurudev ki jai. Mahamahotsav ki jai. There's Param Gurudev ki jai. All Vaishnavas ki jai. Radhe Radhe. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Prema.